There lived a fair maiden who had been raped. All her joy left her body, and for days straight she saw nothing but sadness. She was surrounded by family that did not see her, nor did they choose to see her or hear her, but they chose to feel her because they felt good. The fair maiden wandered through life in a fog, unable to put the pieces together, not understanding that the fog that trailed behind her was that of those who she said she loved most. She could not remember who she was, where she came from, and why she was here, but she was determined to find who she was because something did not add up. And every time she tried to find herself, well, she attracted someone who would get her further and further from the truth. And so for a long time, she lived in a bubble of illusions. The maiden tried her hardest to find freedom, but it seemed as if everything that she did, others were a part of. And it seemed that when she chose not to be a part of something, no one wanted to be a part of something. Yet, the ones closest to her made her feel as if she was a nuisance. It was all quite confusing for the maiden, because she saw that they saw something in her that she could not see yet. So she had to find a way to discover the truth. So she began looking for ways to break free from the family that controlled her with the mighty grip. With as much time as the family members forced upon the young maiden started to see their weaknesses. And she played those weaknesses against themselves, against the others, who went above and beyond to trap her into corners of conflict. Soon, before she knew it, yes, they thought they were isolating her, but the reality of it was they were fighting amongst themselves, because while they were trying to play God in the young maiden's life, the young maiden saw how to play God in their life. Now, this skill worked for quite a while until the young maiden realized that no matter how much she was able to play them and checkmate them, her life was very dark and weary, and this was not the freedom that she had envisioned. The maiden prayed and prayed for a way out. She prayed for a way to freedom, away from all the heartache, away from all the stickiness and the chaos of those surrounding her. And many opportunities were offered to her, but because they did not look the way she wanted it to look, she did not take it until there was a point in time where she was forced to take this opportunity because it was life or death. Those that she was around had no end to how much and how they would continue abusing her as this ongoing game of chess played out before her eyes. And so that moment of freedom, she took it. Even though fear overrode the way she could see things, she knew that there would be freedom, but she did not know how it would be attained. In an attempt to find herself, she lost herself. And all while this was happening, the family that she ran away from, well, they were doing everything they could to get her back into who she once was, because the family could not function without abusing her in some sort of fashion. So it seemed that wherever the fair maiden went, there was conflict constantly around her. Her fighting with who she once used to be, her fighting with who she was trying to become, and her fighting with who they said she was. The fair maiden sought solace within herself because it seemed that she could not find anyone outside of herself to trust, not realizing that her biggest lesson was to learn to trust herself. And by trusting herself, she found a way to protect herself from all of the tyranny that followed her. And it wasn't long before she was free from the tyranny. And this freedom she could not comprehend because she had asked for it. She'd asked to be free from these people. And now, what stretched out before her was a brand new territory of land, one she had never navigated before, one she knew that she could navigate with fresh eyes as fresh as a pure baby. The innocence that she had always sought after was within her once again, and it was up to her to create the new world that her heart called her to do. The fair maiden eyes upon a golden land before her. Sees what they do not see. She sees what they wish they could see, but they will not be able to see because the ones who subjected her to oppression cannot come to this new land.